It is my honor and my pleasure to share the next hour with you and to spend it with you. All right, we are looking at the well-being of a postgraduate student, specifically our master's and our doctoral students. Now, in order to understand exactly what we are dealing with in this presentation, we need to look at a few definitions of what well-being is. Now, I included a number of definitions here, and you will see that there is main characteristics that is available or present in all of these definitions. Firstly, it is the state of being comfortable, healthy, or happy. On the other hand, it's a complex combination of a person's physical, mental, emotional, and social health factors. Well-being is strongly linked to happiness. You can see that in the previous definition, we also heard about the state of being happy and life satisfaction. In short, well-being could be described as how you feel about yourself and your life. Then another definition, well-being is made of many different pieces, and each piece can be improved by building a certain set of skills. So you get the idea of what we are dealing with. Now, in order to understand well-being, we must also look at wellness. What is wellness? You read articles in the newspaper and ads on the TV about wellness. So let's understand this concept first. Now, wellness is the active pursuit of activities, choices, and lifestyles that lead to a state of holistic health. In order to understand this definition, there is different aspects of wellness that we are going to look at, and this make up the holistic concept of wellness. Now we get physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, and environmental wellness. Now, physical is can be obtained by nourishing a healthy body through exercise, nutrition, and sleep. Now, if we look at well-being of a postgraduate student, you're going to tell me, Prof, how much do you think we are sleeping? So this is one of the aspects that we are going to look at. Mental, engaging with the world through learning, problem solving, and creativity. Emotional means it's being aware of, accepting and expressing your feelings, and understanding the feelings of others. Spiritual, searching for a meaning and higher purpose in human existence. Social, again, you are going to tell me, Prof, but we don't have a social life. But I'm going to show you how important this is. It means it's connecting and engaging with others and our communities in a meaningful way. Now, your community can be your fellow students that you communicate with. It can be your community at home, your community at work. So there's different social communities that we can look at. And finally, environmental. We get that by fostering a positive interrelationship between planetary health and human actions, your choices, and well-being. Right. Now, on the picture in front of you, you can see that there is stones and you can see it's a scale. Now, very important is that we must obtain balance in our life. Again, you are going to tell me, Prof, but what balance? I'm going to show you about balance. I'm also going to share with you my personal journey at the end of this presentation, and you will there clearly see that I did not manage to obtain a healthy situation and a balanced situation. So I'll share that with you at the end of this presentation. Now, for well-being, firstly, we look at exercise. It is important that you do physical exercises. Did you know that you can exercise while you are sitting in your chair? You can YouTube various exercises and ways to exercise in a chair. That is very helpful. So look at different YouTube videos and read blogs and manuscripts and presentations on exercises and how important that is. Now, I find myself that I need to do exercises that I enjoy. I know that I don't like to go to the gym. That is not me. So Pilates works very good for me. I do that weekly and it really helps my well-being as well as wellness. So very important, find exercise that you enjoy. You don't have to exercise for hours. If you do 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day, you will see the difference. So crucial is exercise. Then take a day off. Now, before I continue with this slide, how often do you submit work to your supervisor and you get the feedback and you open the feedback and it looks like a war zone? You see all the comments and suggestions and you don't know where to start. You don't know what to do with all of those and you don't even know how to approach that. My advice is that when you get feedback, close the feedback. Wait for a day or two before you open the feedback. Know when you are mentally ready to receive your feedback. Also, if things are too hectic, take a day off. It doesn't help if you are tired, you are overwhelmed, you have to deal with a lot of stuff, reading, changes, writing, and you are tired. So my advice to you is to take a day off. Now, when you take a day off, you see that I've got on the slide a little picture there of the green-eyed monster. Now, when we take a day off, we always think in the back of our minds, why do I take a day off? I'm supposed to work. I'm supposed to do research. I can't afford a day off. Now, students, it is important that you do something with that green monster. Don't allow the green monster to take over. You need a day off to reposition yourself and to look at your wellness. So very important, if you take a day off and you think constantly about your dissertation, your proposal, your thesis, what you still need to do, try to change your mind and your thoughts by not to concentrate on all those feelings. Now, when you're done with your day off, we sometimes get days that we don't want to even switch on our laptops because we know that there is work waiting for us to attend to. We know that there is questions asked by the supervisor. There is reading articles that you must go through. You must look at the different styles that you need to adhere to. It's just simply too much. It seems as if your worst enemy is your laptop. Now, my advice to you is, if that happens, and I'm telling you now, it happens to me as well. Up to today, it happens that I just simply can't get myself to open my computer or my laptop. I find that to focus on something else makes a difference when you eventually get the courage and the energy to sit behind your laptop. Take baby steps. Take it step by step. Even if you read one article per day, or you read 1 or 2 paragraphs in your manuscript that you received back from your supervisor, that is okay. It is perfectly okay. You don't have to jump in and shift mountains. What you need to do is, as I mentioned, take baby steps. Be gentle with yourself. Make sure that you take the first step, but don't overdo it. At some point, you will see that you have the energy to do more, to double up, and then you'll be able to see how much you accomplished. That feeling is very nice. It is nice to look back and to see that you, in the beginning, didn't have the energy to start. When you at least started with it, you will see that when you look back, wow, I accomplished something. Also, remember to take breaks. It's very important that you take breaks. Also, when you have to work and you struggle to work, it goes hand in hand with anxiety. So also know what makes you anxious, get measures in place, walk around the house, walk for 10 minutes, make yourself a cup of coffee or tea, watch a YouTube video or something nice that you can laugh at and that provides you with a bit of humor. So that is just ways that I deal with anxiety. It helps really a great deal. Then ask your supervisor. I found with my students that they are too scared to ask questions. And the conclusion that I came to when I asked them, but why don't you ask questions if you struggle? Why don't you contact me, share with me your feelings, and we'll see what we can do about that. They always say, but Prof, we don't know. I'm too scared to contact you. I'm too scared that you see that I am or think that I'm not competent enough. Now, those of you who listened to this presentation before or today, it is okay. We as supervisors are there to help you. We are there to guide you through your journey, to catch you when you fall, to make sure that you stay on the right track. So don't be scared to contact or to ask your supervisor if you get stuck. We are really there to help you. I always tell my students and my colleagues that I will never in my research journey be able to say that I have arrived. Every student that I supervise is a new field, a new study, another person and individual that I must learn to know where is their strong points, their weak points. If they avoid me for a period of time, then I know I must go and look for them. They are lost and they need my help. So please don't be scared to ask your supervisors. We are really thrilled to help you. If you do your part, we are really honored to help you and to make sure that you enjoy your journey, the good and the bad times, and that you have a positive experience throughout your research journey. Now, if we look at proactive ways, I'm going to explain this to you also in the other slides as well. The optimal state of well-being, if you look at the wellness paragraph, is that you are thriving. There is preventative measures in place that you maintain and improve a healthy lifestyle, that you take in cognizance your individual responsibility throughout your journey to maintain wellness and well-being, and it must be integrated into your life. Now, the different aspects of well-being. The first one is emotional well-being. That is the feeling of feeling happy. If you remember the 3 definitions that I presented to you at the beginning of this presentation, is that we heard the word happy and happiness. So we'll get back to this. It is the ability to practice stress management techniques, be resilient, and generate emotions that lead to good feelings. If you open your work that you received back from your supervisor, it is important that you know and have techniques in place how to mitigate and how to deal with that. Especially if your work is not that great that you thought it might be, never give up. Be positive about it. Open your laptop, try to feel happy and make sure that you manage your stress levels. Very important. Then, to develop emotional well-being, You need to build your emotional skills. That is skills leading to positive thinking, resilience, mindfulness, for example. The meaning of mindfulness means or is that you must live in the moment you are. Don't think about tomorrow or next week or the examination. Find yourself in the exact moment and state that you are. That is the meaning of mindfulness. Now, all of these skills that I mentioned above will enable you to cope with stress, to regulate your emotions, to face challenges, to quickly recover from upsets, and can continue pursuing your goals and go about your lives. Now, when you have developed your emotional well-being, we feel so much more happier. The next one is physical well-being, is the feeling of being healthy. Now, the ability to improve the functioning of your body through healthy eating, exercise habits, and other healthy habits, minds and thoughts as well. To develop your physical well-being, you need to increase your understanding of a nutritionist diet, a well-balanced diet, exercising, and healthy strategies that you can implement in your daily lives. Again, I'm referring you to YouTube videos. There is really nice YouTube videos available that you can watch in your leisure time to help you with different skills. Our insights to help us or should help us to eat healthfully, prevent many diseases, engage in other behaviors that keep your body functioning and pain-free. Now, when we have developed our physical well-being, we feel healthier. Social well-being, that is the feeling of connectedness, the ability to communicate, develop intimacy with others, create a support network that help you overcome loneliness. The journey of a postgraduate student can become a lonely journey. In your inner circle, get people that is positive, your fellow students, connect with them, ask them for guidance when you discuss important topics or just your well-being. You can get wonderful information and share tips with other students as well. Now, to develop your social well-being, you need to build your social skills. If you are shy and you don't want to connect with other people, try to see how you can mitigate that. Build your skills, try one step at a time. Skills like gratitude, kindness, and communication. I link communication to your supervisor as well. Also remember to contact your supervisor and to tell your supervisor if you are struggling. If you go through personal challenges in your private life, if you are working and you have challenging situations at work, share that with your supervisor. We always want to know how our students are doing. If a student is silent for a month, I know that I must go and hook up with that student to find out if there is any challenges that the student might experience. It might not only be relating to your studies, but it can be of a personal nature as well. We as your supervisors like to understand what you go through and if you are experiencing any challenges. Now, these skills lead others to value their interaction with us, helping us to feel less lonely, insecure, and disconnected. When you develop your social well-being, we feel more meaningfully connected to others. Then workplace well-being, especially those of you who work, the ability to pursue your interests, skills, and purpose at work in order to gain meaning, happiness, and enrichment in your life. To develop workplace well-being, you need to build your professional skills that relate to skills like pursuing our purpose, living our values, and maintaining work-life balance. These skills help us enjoy our work more, helping us to stay focused, motivated, and successful at work. You can also relate that to your studies as well. When we develop workplace well-being, our work feels more fulfilling. Societal well-being, that relates to feeling a sense of community. Now let's discuss this. It's the ability to participate in creating a thriving community, culture, and environment that you function in. To develop societal well-being, you need to build skills that make you feel interconnected. Those skills are supporting the environment, building stronger local communities, fostering a culture of compassion, fairness, and support. These skills help us create and be part of thriving communities by taking care of one another and the world at large. Okay, when you cultivate societal well-being, we feel like we are part of something bigger than just ourselves. Also, this is important, as I mentioned, the research journey as a scholar, postgraduate scholar, can sometimes become very lonely. Now, if we look at student well-being, is a predictor of outcomes that include academic success, mental health, economic prosperity, and relationship success. Mental health problems are relatively common under university students. If you know, or if your family members tell you that you are grumpy, you don't have any creativity, you don't want to connect with other people, and you don't want to work on your studies, those are all signs of mental health problems. Seek for help. There is help available. There is doctors available that can help you, counselors. Make sure that it doesn't escalate to a level where you can't change it anymore. Go and look for help. Now, there's a study conducted on masters and doctoral students where they look at what COVID-19, their experiences of the students. I just took a few parts of information that I want to share with you. Now, I don't know if you experienced this, but I certainly did during 2020 and 2021. You might have experienced a range of emotions and personal challenges, like you have to study and work on your studies, but there's children at home. We had to face the lockdown. We had to deal with our family that were at home, your studies. It also led to increased stress levels that distracted us from focusing and absorbing new knowledge. We also experienced feelings of isolation. I can relate to this because this is exactly what I went through. Now, in this study, it came out and the questions were asked, what created the most anxiety, frustrations, and areas of concern? How did you cope and navigate the situation? What generated the most relief? Now, the findings from the study is number one, managing disappointment, experiencing a loss of power and control, managing feelings of anxiety, and incorporating coping strategies and seeking relief. This is what came out of the study, the basic themes. Now, when they asked them about managing disappointment, the respondents felt they no longer had control over what they did because of stay-at-home orders enforced by the government. Work-life balance was one of the most daunting challenges as students tried to manage multiple responsibilities at home. Also, a loss of power and autonomy. students highlighted was pressure during the pandemic to remain indoors, a shift of infringed on their privacy and ability to work in quiet areas, especially if you don't have a dedicated space at home to do your studies and your research. It was a challenge. How to manage anxiety and fear. The pandemic led to emotional and psychological challenges and responses. Students experienced periods of social withdrawal, difficulty to concentrate, feelings of anger, helplessness, panic, and worry. Now I'm going to share with you my own journey. When I did my master's degree, my son was 4 years old. So he's my last born. So that was really challenging to attend to my study and to spend time with my family to fulfill my roles as a mom and a lecturer or a working mom. Also to balance my work life with my family. That was really challenging. So what happened, and I did the same with my doctoral degree, is that I attend to my family, make sure that the homework was done and everything, my work. I lectured 8 different modules while I was busy doing my doctoral degree. So I had to lecture about 45 periods, 40 to 45 periods per week. And I had to do my research and I didn't have study leave. So what I did is at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, when the house was quiet in the evenings, I started with my research and my studies. Then I worked throughout the night. I remembered at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, I was so hungry that I had to get up to make myself some food. I always had to do it so quiet so that I do not wake the family. And then the next morning at 6 o'clock, I switched off my laptop and I had to then get dressed to go to work. That is how it went, day in and day out. You can clearly see that it was not a balanced life at all. I suffered from burnout. I struggled to keep all the balls in the air. Some of them dropped. It was really challenging. In hindsight, advise my students against doing that. Now, I know if you are working, you do not have enough time to spend on your studies. That always happens during the nights. But it is important that you sleep about 7 hours per night. Now, that's very difficult. They say we need to sleep about 8 hours per night. After 3 hours or 3 days that I didn't sleep, I couldn't function as a productive human being anymore, and I started making mistakes. That is when I reached a brick wall that I struggled to be creative with my studies. I struggled to focus. I was just simply too tired to do my best. So each of us have different journeys. We have different stories that we can tell, but I hope that you can learn from this presentation what to focus on and what not. I'm saying it again that there is really helpful, even TikTok videos. My children share with me TikTok videos. That is really helpful. And YouTube videos and articles that you can read, blogs. It doesn't have to be academic stuff. It can be light and something that you can use in your daily lives and throughout your journey as a postgraduate student. Balance is very important, sometimes very difficult to obtain. And all I can tell you is when your journey is over, the fruit is sweet. The day when you graduate, you forget all the suffering you went through. And it's like giving birth to a baby. It is challenging and stressful and painful, but at the end of the day, you don't remember that specific time. You're just experiencing joy and a feeling of relief. So this is my story. I hope what I shared with you today can contribute to you and your life as a student and perhaps as a working individual that's also a student and that has to take care of families or children. You have your own household, or you have to take care of your mother, your grandmothers. So very importantly is that you put yourself first. You need to be the driving force behind your studies. If you are like a broken, dilapidated car, you can't drive from point A to point B. The same with your studies. If you are in different or in pieces and you struggle to hold that all together, that you remember that there must be well-being, wellness, and a good, balanced life. Thank you for the opportunity. I hope that you enjoyed the presentation.